So hello, this is going to be the first of hopefully what will be a series of screencasts since I'm gonna upload them on YouTube and there's a limitation on my account. I can only upload up to 15 minutes, so it's not gonna last more than that. Hopefully it's gonna be a little bit shorter. So since this is the first one, I'm gonna start with some basic comments on the interface, the feel, the look and feel of the application, what the user is going to see, and then hopefully I'll have a little bit of time to dig in some more specific features. I've made my browser full screen. This is why you don't see any junk on top, but if I just move my mouse over, then you would see that I have all my other tabs and all my other connections. So obviously the application has a title bar, and over here I'm going to be listing the name of the product and the version number, and over here I have the application menu. It's tucked away in the corner. This is basically the new standard, the way things are done. Instead of having a huge menu horizontally and then have like duplication in the toolbar, they just put it there, but from here you will have access to everything in the system. For quick somebody who knows what he's doing, he wants to go somewhere precisely. Otherwise, most users, especially at the beginning, will go through the steps of the toolbar. Obviously I have a toolbar and I'm displaying and I'm giving access in the toolbar to the main modules of the application. The application is built with a very strict structure in mind. It's like a hierarchy. You have modules and then you have sub-modules that apply to that module, and within each module and sub-module then you have some specific tasks. The application has essentially 5, technically 6 modules. I'll explain why I say that. You have the settings module where you're gonna have like essentially this is going to be an admin area where you're gonna enter general information for in the system, where you're gonna create your users, where you're gonna assign them permission, where you're gonna set users preference, the size of the receipt, all kind of general stuff that you would have in a general admin area. Then you have the reports module. I debated whether I would make it as a standalone module because the reports obviously are going to be accessible through the other modules, but I just thought that like a module on its own where some users just want to see reports and they would go directly and see the list of all the reports from all the modules. I will get back to the rest in a minute. This is the dashboard. You can think of it as the main home page of the application. It's the general dashboard for all the modules, so you would list everything from everywhere, essentially some important reminders, the latest products created, the latest receivings that have to be finished, birthday reminders. It's a bird's eye view of the application. Of course, every module and even every sub-module has its own dashboard that it's going to display relevant information for that context. And we have like basically 3 main useful modules in the application, which is going to be the contacts module, the transactions module, and the inventory module. I am currently in the inventory module. That's why you see this button disabled. The contacts module is where the CRM will take place. Essentially, this is where you're going to deal with people, whether it's leads, prospects, customers, suppliers, volunteers, employees, everything that has to do with people, and the whole exchange of information, emails, phone calls, reminders, all of that is going to take place over there. So essentially it's going to be a CRM on its own and you access it through that module. The inventory module is where you're going to feed the system all the information that relates to obviously inventory, products, and services. So everything that the system needs to function. This is not to be confused with the transaction module, which I'll get back to in a second. But basically, you would create your products and services. You would create your categories, departments, sub-departments. This is where you would define your warehouses, your shelf locations within each warehouse, your unit of measure, and some other stuff. Everything that the system needs, this is where you would feed it. The transaction module obviously is the most important one. It's a link between your contacts module and your inventory module. Forget about the CRM part. I'm talking about products, point of sale, inventory management. You would like sell inventory to a customer. You would receive inventory from a supplier. So everything that affects the inventory value has to be encapsulated into a transaction. So you can think of the transaction module, transactions that affect the inventory module. It's not exactly that, but it's a good way of looking at it. So because of all the some issues that we know about, and I don't need to talk about them on YouTube, I'm going to concentrate on the contacts module, obviously. Although because I've been working on the inventory module initially, some features that I want to show you will have to be displayed in the inventory module. So this is as far as this section of the toolbar. This section over here, you can think of it as a breadcrumb, where you would have you see on websites, you go in further deep into the application, then you have links and you go back to the previous stage and stuff like that. So this tells you basically how deep you are in the application. I have mentioned before that I am in the inventory module, therefore the inventory icon is displayed. This icon represents the main dashboard of the inventory module. This is over here where you will see all the stuff, all the reminders for products and stuff like that. That's not implemented yet, at least partially, so I did not want to show it on this demo. And this icon represents the fact that you have to choose basically like a sub module, and obviously over here you would have links to a more specific area of the inventory module. If I just show you something quickly, let's say I want to go to add a product, then all of a sudden I am in the inventory module, I am in the products sub module, and I am performing the task to actually create a product. So this is how it works. It's a very quick and hopefully intuitive way for the user to know where he's at the application. Let me go back to the inventory module for a second. And over here I'm displaying the user ID, the username, the user role to which he's associated with, his permission, and obviously I have a logout button. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the layout. This is once I'll do it, but I want to do it so it's out of the way. Where I'm going to move the mouse from over here to over here, obviously this is the main area, the main content of the application. This is where all the action takes place. But I have, as you can see, I have a left panel, I even have a right panel, and I actually have a bottom panel that I'm not using right now. I'm using it for debugging. So these panels are completely resizable, and over here you say that it's pinned. So if I just want to unpin it, I just click on it and you gain more space, and it's very important for some screens that you want to have more space to look at the information. On this panel, basically I'm going to put the help area where I'm going to like give suggestions to the user, information about what he should do next within the context of where he's at the application. And obviously this one also, you can pin it, unpin it, whatever. So it's a pretty nice and flexible way of managing the space of the application. For example, if I go to list search, which is going to list me all the products that I have in the system right now, you can see that ideally I would need more space to look at stuff, so I just do that and it becomes more important, more visible. while I'm here, let me just I want to talk about the CRM. While I'm here, let me just show you quickly. This is a very powerful widget. Um, this tells me how many records I want to show per page, and if I have more records, then obviously I have the next and previous button. At the bottom it tells me here I'm showing 1 to 24 of actually 30 records in the database. As I mentioned, this is a very powerful grid. You can sort by any column, so you can like very quickly find the information that you want. I just put some dummy columns right now. Obviously I'm gonna have the inventory value and next to the unit of measure. Over here you have actions for each record. So for example, if I want to look at my Coca-Cola, then if I go here I can edit the product. If I go here I can just view the product, I can delete the product. I'll talk about all that stuff later on. What I really want to show you is the very powerful search feature. Let's say you go here and you want to look for a particular product, then all you have to do is to start typing. I know I have some Coca-Cola, so if I type Coke, then everything else disappears and it only returns records that match the pattern that I'm typing. This search input box, it's gonna search, it's gonna try to match for every single column combined, so it's very quick and very powerful. But if you want to have a more refined, more specific search, then you can come on these boxes and it's going to search for only that column. So if I type in CO, it only gives me it gives me all the Coca-Cola because that's what I have in the database that's matching. If I go over here and I say cat 2, then it's going to eliminate more, and you can go on and basically eliminate everything until you reach the stuff that you want to look at. And obviously when you delete it, it gives you back everything that you had before. So it's an extremely powerful search filter, and hopefully it's going to be very helpful for the user. Let me just type in one more thing here just to show you one more element of it. As I type in and as I filter, at this stage I can basically print the information that I have. So I would go here and it would print, make it friendly for the printer. It would eliminate all the junk of the rest of the page. But as you can see, you can basically filter and then you will only print the result of your searches. So it's extremely useful to just transfer, print, communicate information. Aside from the print button, I'm sorry that my theme is not great because it's white on white when it's default, so it doesn't show. I have to put my mouse over it. Obviously I'll change that. So you can print it, you can export it to the PDF format, so it just gives you the, and I think I'm past 15 minutes, so unfortunately I have to stop now and I will continue. I knew it was going to take too long.